Okay, so today, this video is going to be called plugging into the source of your inspiration, or plugging into the source of inspiration, something like that, where your true power is. Not, let's say, living in a mediocre way, living by default or by reaction or observation, just regular intake, and then, okay, how you doing? All right, same old. But getting plugged into where the real juice is so that you can take it into a higher frequency, because to me, it's unacceptable, man. I mean, you shouldn't be just feeling okay. You should feel awesome. Not just physically in your body, but your mind state, your confidence level should be awesome. It's attainable. It's doable. Why not? I don't think you could see it out here, but there's a kind of a wintry mix going on. The camera doesn't really pick it up, especially video. There's rain and snow. So that tells you a little bit, because I like to do these outside because I like to have no ceiling. I'm a better channel. I'm a better conduit, I feel like, for the information when there's no ceiling. But that kind of tells you that I'm a little nutsy, because the impulse to speak and to get this going is such that I don't care. If it's April, if there's April snow going on, I'm still gonna come out and do it, because I couldn't just sit with it. I had to talk. It was coming out of me. And why me? Why me? I'm plugged in. I'm just a conduit for it. My lifetime has been reading books, and I had powerful, traumatic childhood experiences that kind of zapped me and made me more aware from the time that I was a wee lad. And so I'm more open. But I had the hunger for it too. I've always been reading books and watching documentaries and watching whatever, trying to get from an early time in my life, trying to get as much information as I could. And maybe in the beginning it was just like ghosts and spirits and demons, and then it expanded and it got deeper and deeper into really understanding how the universe works. And then I started getting zapped with the major spiritual experiences, like I've talked about in the one video, the FAQ and the spiritual talk about the thing that happened to me in 2021. Really, first time was 2014, but then even more powerfully in 2021 when I was fasting. I wasn't intentionally fasting. I just got really, really sick, and I couldn't eat for a week. And then even after that, I still couldn't really eat more than like a grape for like another week or two. So, I mean, I was emaciated, and I looked like Christian Bale in that movie, The Machinist, where he looks like a skeleton, and you get those like, your teeth don't look right because it's like you're close to death. We're about the same height. I'm like 5'11", he's like 6 or 6'1" or something like that. And I think I read something where he was down to like 110 pounds. He sustained that for a long time for the shoot of the movie. Maybe, I don't know, a couple of months. I have no idea. A while, though. For me, I got, I started eating. So, like, I got the weight going again. But I would think I was like 114 pounds or something like that. It was scary. But it was a euphoric experience. I felt amazing. And then I had for like a month, even when I did start to eat a banana or a grape, then I just felt so deeply spiritually connected to Source, or to all that is, or to Spirit, or whatever you want to call it, to God, that it was like, I just felt great. It was like an ecstatic, amazing kind of physical and the mental kind of experience. It was like my energy skeleton or my soul was jutting out, because my body was so frail that I could feel everything at a more profound level. I would put music on, and if it was something that would be like the kind of music that would give you goosebumps, it was like I was gonna die, because it was so powerful the way that it was affecting me. And it was awesome. Kind of mellowed out after that for like a month, but I've, at the same time, it's just I've also gotten used to it, because that's just pretty much how it is. I can get messed up and I can get off track. I got sick during the winter. It was kind of invited by me. I kind of wanted to, not that I wanted to get plugged in more, but I wanted to get, it's always this. It's always this happens. I want to know more about the formula for this so that I can explain it. And I want to have an even more detailed kind of frame of understand. I don't know what it is. It's like I want to know every last detail about why and how there is this connection. What is this? What is the purpose? And what can you do with the physical body, with the water droplet of me here in physical reality connected to the ocean in the non-physical reality, where my non-physical counterpart or my non-physical broader perspective kind of resides in infinity, in without this kind of like black and white and all the grays and everything, the contrast, all the extremes of life, all the variety of life, and the wanted and unwanted. There it's kind of like chill. There's still attraction and there's still growth, but it's different. And here you're like in the soup of it. It's like you're underwater in the soup of it, kind of. It's different. So the wanting to get more plugged in or wanting to learn more so that I could share more about it feels like something that is important to me. And not like I have to do it. I'm charged to do it. Somebody's making me do it. It's just my interest. And I got really sick. And then it turned out actually to be the coolest thing, because getting really, really sick and having this cold, I had this like respiratory thing going on. A lot of people had it. I was like, ugh. And I couldn't do anything for months. And I mean, it really got me like I really didn't look at anything like on the news. I didn't go on the internet. I didn't read any stupid shit. I didn't watch anything like that. And I got really just into my own imagination, which is a really awesome way to get plugged in a deeper way, because when you remove all the worry, fear, and the doubt of everyday life that a lot of people experience, you're much more in the natural state of the bliss. And I say natural state, a lot of people argue, oh no, human beings are programmable, and you get here and it's not good or evil, you're programmable one way or the other. Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm saying like Earth as a plane, like physical reality as a plane, it's not like predetermined hell, and then you get here and you try to figure it out and you try to find your way in it. If we got rid of the things that we worried and we stressed about, it'd be like the air itself was just bliss and everybody would be cool. Obviously, we don't want that, because there's no growth and expansion in that. If there was just you on the planet by yourself, the growth would be extremely minimal in comparison to all the variety, which creates all the contrast, all the two things hitting against each other. So everybody thinks they want things to calm down, but there's really no expansion if things calm down. So the higher level of expansion, which we're in an extremely contrasty kind of time, the higher level of expansion is something that you get. Kind of like you could say it's a reward for it, but it's really that we're seeking this. So we're kind of evolving in a really, really powerful way because of the extremes. So, like, that's a good thing, right? I mean, maybe not everybody reaps that reward, but you don't have to wait until you die in order to go back into your non-physical reality and your paradise and enjoy all the things that you created. You can live the paradise here, but you got to get in tune. You got to get plugged in. So I'm sick, and then it gave me the opportunity to prove to myself that I can shift I'm feeling like almost depressed and not good here because of how sick I've been for such a long time, and I'm not leaving the house because I don't want to get anybody else sick, and so it affords me the opportunity to practice what I preach, but not just from the place of like things are okay. And so yeah, it's easy for you to say, you can plug yourself into the source and get yourself feeling amazing because you don't have the problems that I have. Well, you can take it from the place of being totally like, this sucks, totally depressed, not wanting to do anything, really feeling like shit, and even getting into a belief that you can't come out of it somehow. And you can still turn that around. You can still shift that vibration, because all it is focus. It's what you put your attention on. It's what you get the ball rolling on. And you can't get the ball rolling on something really positive if you keep inserting things like it's kind of like eating something that's really bad for you and wanting to be healthy at the same time. You can't really get it going in the extreme way that you want it to go to get into the really high frequencies if you interrupt it with things that will cause you to have worry or concern or fear or doubt, or that are just very negative. So a lot of what you do to get your vibration into a higher place is really just removing your attention from the things that cause it to not be in that higher place where it would go on its own if it were left alone. Just like I say, like, natural state is something that is blissful. This is what I experienced when I had a spiritual experience in 2014. I was worried and I was freaked out about war, and I wondered whether I should do something about it, like make a documentary about this thing and share what I know to be blah blah blah, and it did not feel good when I was dwelling on that stuff. When I would think about what it was that I would maybe make that documentary about, that subject made me feel really awful. And so it's like I can't do my best work. I can't get inspired to do this. That would have to maybe be for somebody else. I don't know. And I really didn't know, and I felt like there was a real crisis going on with myself, and I had ulcers, and I really was just a mess for a long time. And I prayed and just, and finally one night in September of 2014, I had really just gotten to a place of putting myself into absolute expectation of, I'm asking you, universe, God, source, whatever, for what the angels, what to do, and you have to answer me. Like, you've got to tell me whether I should or shouldn't do this thing, whether I should or shouldn't start to go in the direction of this thing and make this thing or not. And it woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this is in another video, the spiritual talk or whatever from a while ago, and it was like a train came into my room. It paved over all my worry, fear, and doubt. I felt it like it just wiped it clean. Like, I was freaked out and worried, and I had ulcers, and I was a mess, and I just felt it like it just went away. But it was so powerful. Like, I describe it as like a train, because it was so powerful that it actually just woke me up out of my sound sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I would not open my eyes because I just knew I was probably going to see something like golden light or God knows what, like, or an angel standing there or something. That was too much for me. I wasn't going to do that. I was not going to actually look at whatever it was. But I could feel it intensely, and I had the information coming to me in a kind of, I guess you'd say, telepathic. A lot of people use the term nowadays, they say download, because a lot of information was given like just like that. It's like I just knew a bunch of shit. And I've already been psychic my whole life and had stuff like that where I'm a conduit for information and I'll get a whole bunch of stuff all at once. But this was just like an answer to my prayer. This was like exactly a perfect understanding, not just telling me what to do, but explaining the whole thing. And there was an understanding there, which was that, and it said, the only words that it said, it didn't say them, I didn't hear words, but I knew this phrase, feel good, and I knew what it meant, and I understood it as, that's not for you to do because you don't feel good when you do that. Go do your music and do your movie, do your music video, do your thing, make videos because you feel good doing that. This is fun for me. I love to make videos like this. I love the preparation to get into the vibration with the meditation or whatever, so that it selects me, and it's like, okay, we got the message, and you're the guy that can articulate it, and we're gonna have some fun. And I love, obviously, all the art stuff that I do. I have a blast with all that stuff. But this is also really, really fun. This is just as much fun as doing something creative, making a new song or whatever. This is great. So this is for me to do. The documentary thing, that's for somebody else to do, because somebody else can do that and not be worried about it and freaked out. Somebody else will do it without the ulcer. By the way, I didn't have ulcers after that, and that's sometimes I share that with people, and sometimes I don't, because I don't want to sound ridiculous, and I don't want to but I just didn't have ulcers after. They were gone. I mean, that you call that miracle healing or whatever, but I was, and obviously with that information, I felt unbelievable relief. I actually was going on the internet. I'm looking on Twitter and all these places, did anybody else, because I thought it was a worldwide thing. I didn't know that it was just me that was getting my answer. I thought this train thing of this blissful, loving energy that came into my room other people must have noticed it. But for that particular experience, no, it was just me, and it was to help me with that. And then I didn't know that I'd be making these videos. Now it's kind of interesting how now I'm doing it, because now when I get these calls, from All That Is, from Source, it's yeah, I'm gonna get on camera and I'm gonna share it with people. I'm not gonna hesitate. So I'm a candidate for that. I'm the conduit. I'm ready to go. And I'm not gonna use drugs. I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna do things that are gonna dampen my vibration, so that I can be in the receiving mode, so that I can get it. And if I were gonna drink too much coffee even, I could get myself a little wobbly in terms of my vibration, where this is harder to be able to do anything with. So, when I can start to feel it coming, and I know that there's a message in a sense, and there's something that I want to get out on camera, then I'm not even going to have a cup of coffee or tea or anything, because I want to be sort of natural and sort of crisp with the delivery of all of this, so that I can articulate it well. But anyway, plugging in, what I'm talking about, plugging into, I guess it's kind of stopped. See, now it's not really raining. It's just birds are out again. It was a wintry mix. There was raindrops, but they had a little bit of snow in them. Anyway, so plugging into this source, what we're talking about here is remove your attention from things that piss you off, because that constant reaction to something that's pissing you off is keeping your vibration from naturally rising to the place that it would be at, that would be that higher frequency, where you'd be able to receive inspiration, so that you could do whatever it is that you want. And it's not just inspiration. That's going to sound potentially confusing, because somebody might think, well, I don't need inspiration because I'm not an artist and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about inspiration as being a wave of energy, and a stream, if you will, of energy that's flowing. That is contained within it is answers, but it's also impulses to go this way instead of go that way, so that you're taking yourself down a path to what you want. So you live some life, you experience some variety in life, you experience some things that are wanted and unwanted, you get a little clearer about what it is that you do want. You come out of a shitty relationship, now you have a much clearer idea of what it would be that you would prefer. So you've lived some experience that then has shown you, so there's an expanded relationship now. In the non-physical, broader perspective, your consciousness, your eternal consciousness part of you, the energy part of you only, right? Not here physical. This physical part of you is energy too, and it's obviously consciousness. But let's say the ocean part versus the droplet part, right? That part of you knows where that is. It's got that. It's in that. It's got that relationship already. It's got the answer to the question already. But to kind of beam it to you, to deliver it to you, you have to be in the same flow of where that stream is going. I call that stream inspiration because you feel it. It's in your spirit. It's like when you just feel it. Not something that is you bang it into place, not something that you listen to somebody else or you go by a map or somebody yells at you a lot and it motivates you to do something. It's a nice feeling that is in you that is like a spirit thing where you know what to do and you know where to go and you're moving in the direction of where that is, those wanted things. And obviously things that you already have, you want too. So it's not like I'm sort of saying that these are only the things that you don't have. It's also just when life is going good and when you're in the stream and you're flowing with that inspiration, then you're going in the direction where the source part is, which is really, really nice. It's really blissful. It has what you want and it's going to bring it to you. You're going to not be able to miss it if you're in that flow. But to be in that flow, you have to be in harmony with what that frequency is, and that frequency feels good. That's how you know whether you're on the path or not. Does it feel good or does it not feel good? Because if it doesn't feel good, that means you're off of the path in some way. That means that or it means that directionally you're looking at it and you're telling yourself that you can't have it. If you tell yourself that you can't have something that you want, you're not going to feel good when you tell yourself that. When somebody says that you're a jerk and you know you're not a jerk and the source part of you knows that you're not a jerk, you're not going to feel good when they say that. There's a vibratory response is emotion. Emotion tells you. People will say, stupid people will say things like, don't just go by your emotions, you need logic and all that stuff. But yes, but there's a purpose for emotion, and when you're smart or wise or whatever it is, or spiritual, you understand that there is great value in understanding that stuff. Your gut, you need to trust your gut. Intuition is important. Intuition is that you pay attention to those signs and you actually listen to what they're telling you, and you go with it, you trust it. Because if you do, it'll take you to where you want to go. And once you have been taken to where you want to go by following your intuition enough times, by going with the call of that inspiration, then you realize there's really nothing better. This is it. This is all I got to do. So I have control, in a sense, even though I don't like that word, over what I'm going to get in my experience by way of paying attention to how I feel and really caring about feeling good and acting in that way, going in that direction, making that where I'm gonna put all my stock, because that's the only thing that's the plugging into that is the only real thing that you have any control over. Like where you put your attention is something that you have control over, in spite of the fact that maybe you can't control all the conditions around you and you can't, build this or grab that or do this physically with your hands necessarily in all situations. You have the ability to control your focus. You have the ability then, by way of your focus, to get your vibration into a better feeling place. And when you do that and you're in the stream, then you're moving in the direction of what you want. And then you're going to get, you're attracting then what you want. You're on the same frequency as it, so you're going to get it. That's how vibration works. Like attracts like. Like frequency is going to pick up the next thing like it. Birds of a feather flock together. You don't run into people who are in a really, really negative frequency when you're in a really, really positive frequency. You don't love and hate at the same time, or you're not in love and in fear at the same time. Those are extremes, and obviously there's lots of mixes, and there's people who are a kind of a mixed bag, and when you're a kind of a mixed bag, you vibrate, and therefore you match with, and therefore you're in the same room with the people who are kind of a mix. And different parts of you light up, and that part lights up in that other person, and there you are now. So you don't have to be a perfect match on all levels necessarily, but here when we're doing this thing, you ever have that with certain people where when you're doing that one thing, you're with that one person but not with anybody else, but you don't really do anything other than that one thing with that one person? Because That's where you match, and that's fine. That's where the harmony is, though. But if you pay attention to the circumstances that are around you and all the people that that are in your life, you understand what the contents of your vibration are, that you can then see what your own countenance is in terms of vibration, what you've got going on. And if you really have things that you want, but you feel like are kind of stuck, like you've been wanting this thing for a really long time, but you're not managing to get it, that's when you want to plug into the source. That's when you want to make a little effort in terms of your focus to elevate your vibration, because that'll get you out of the stuck feeling. And the feeling that you get, the relief, it's like being underwater and then coming out and being like, when you finally get out of the stuck vibration. Not the stuck condition, not the stuck circumstances. Here I am and I'm in this job and this sucks and I feel stuck. Here I am and I'm in this relationship and I'm with this blah, 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 and this sucks. Okay, you don't address that thing. Don't attack that thing. Because attacking the problem of the thing is going to create more of the thing, because what you have your attention on is problem, and now problem is what you're a match for, and problem is what the stream is going to deliver more of. That's how law of attraction works. That's like attracts like. So you don't want to, oh, I have this problem, this sucks, and then you start talking about, oh yeah, I've heard about that. That really fucking sucks. We're in sucky fucking times. You could do that with people all day long. There's plenty of people to do that with, and then you're gonna just attract more suck. So you got to get it to a place where you can really shift your focus and power that down. Get away from that. Don't feed that anymore. Make it more of a general appreciation of the moment if you can. Just say, this is the most amazing thing in the world, that I can take a really hot shower today and I feel great doing this, and I'm going to eat breakfast and I'm going to take my time doing it, and I'm going to, really appreciate just the moment that I'm in, and give yourself permission to just be in that moment. You don't have to drag the problem that you're worried about, that you feel stuck in, into every single moment. Don't make it that is an ever-present thing, and then don't keep talking about it with people and telling that story, unless you want to just keep regurgitating, keep recreating that reality. That's why people don't believe that they can change anything in their lives at a certain point, because they can't stop talking about the problem, and the problem then creates more problem, and so nothing changes, and then it just feels like, ugh. And then, other people who have it going good might not ever take it to the next level and bring themselves into a much better feeling frequency, a higher frequency, to attract something that is truly wanted. Not just something that is like okay, because they basically just look at everything and they say, well, it's okay enough. And I'm trying to make this video, I think, today to just say, that's unacceptable. Fuck that. You don't have to live life in any kind of mediocre way, and you don't have to just say that this is just enough, and you don't have to say, I don't want to be greedy. It's not about being greedy. Your own life experience caused you to ask for things, and it's your specific stuff. Forget about anybody else's opinion. Nobody else can tell you whether it's right or wrong, or it's good or bad, or it's asking for too much. So those are belief systems that won't serve you. And so are things that tell you that you have to do it because it's moral or whatever it is. There's a good Seth quote. I think maybe it's in the Nature of Personal Reality. I can't remember what book it is. It's from a Seth session, if you know Seth. You might, after watching these videos, because a lot of this stuff is very Sethy and Abraham-y. She says, I think it's hatred of war will not bring peace. Only love of peace. Only love of peace will bring about those conditions. Something along. I'm wrecking that quote. I don't remember it, but it's basically, if you want peace, you want to go to a peace rally. You don't want to go to an anti-war rally. You don't want to go where the focus is on the problem and the people are angry about the problem. You want to go to where the solution is. It's a completely different vibration. It sounds silly. Well, there's a bad war going on right now, and you want me to be happy? Yeah, you have to. Because you're not ready for the peace that you say that you want unless you can be that way. Because you got to plug into the source first. That's how it works. Your signal is your vibration. And your signal is what the universe, that's your address that delivers the package of what you really want too. And in a collective experience, forget it. Don't focus on that. Stop thinking about what other people are doing. Do it for yourself. Feel good for yourself. You can want peace for the entire world. But can you get peace right here, right now for yourself? If you can't, then what the hell are you talking about? You think you got the ability to generate that for the entire world if you can't even do it for yourself? You can do it for yourself, and you could do it shortly. Maybe in an hour. I don't know. Depends on the person. Maybe it takes you a couple months. Try 30 days without going on the internet. Can you do that? I just did that. That was awesome. Now when I look at the internet, it looks totally stupid. I still want to make these videos, and I'm still going to participate because I like that contrast. I like that variety. But my attention is not going to be that focused here on internet world because it's a little wacky. And that's okay. That's my choice. It's not knocking you. You can do whatever you want. And when I talk about dampening, blah, 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 oh, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to drink because that's going to dampen my thing. If you want to do that, fine. Do whatever you do. But notice how you feel and notice what's coming after you're feeling that way for a while. Now what are you attracting? If it sucks, shift it. And you know how to shift it because when it's going this way and you're doing this thing, you need to do the other thing if you want to get the other thing. There's problem and there's solution, and they're different. Sometimes it's a little difficult to know, but how do you really, really know? It's not words. It's not, the results obviously of what your life is showing you will tell you in a major way what you've got going on if you're not sure how you're feeling. But you can tell right now by how you're feeling. What's your chronic mood like? What's the overall thing? What do you kind of like default to when you start getting going talking about something? Is it a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of problems? If it is, then you probably feel a little shitty afterwards or during when it's coming out of you. Maybe you kind of get yourself wound up talking about things that make you feel like shit. What that means is you're looking at things and thinking about things in a different way than the broader perspective is the way that they're feeling and thinking about it. Which means you're not going with the flow of where that inspiration should be going. You're not feeling good, so you're not going on the path towards the things that you want. Instead, you're kind of like pushing against it, and you're kind of resisting it in a certain kind of a way. And you can stop doing that. And nobody else can make you do that, and nobody else has control over your emotions, and you can focus differently so that you can get yourself out of it. And a lot of what you can do is just removing your attention or your focus on things that suck. And that in itself does such an amazing job because the frequency wants to rise and will rise naturally all the time. It's always trying to come up for air. It's always trying to rest and get relief and feel better. It's just that if you perpetuate a story over and over and over again that makes you feel like shit, then you just keep knocking it down and preventing it from rising naturally where it's going to go, frequency-wise. And I'm saying up and high, I'm using that. I mean feeling better. I mean higher frequency, meaning better feeling, meaning more in alignment with what is going on. Ocean with little droplet you here down in physical reality. Little thumb drive here. Here's the hard drive here. You're getting the data here. You're sending the data to the big drive up here. Drive up here has the solution. Here's the relationship that you want. Okay? You put all these things here because you experience this shitty relationship, this very Abraham-y kind of stuff. This is what I always am getting. This is what these, I mean, there must not be that many non-physical entities out there that have messages, because a lot of them seem to say the same shit over and over again, and they use different people, and here it is up here. Here's you. If you're going with the flow and you're feeling good, you're in harmony with this, you're in alignment with this, and this is then going to give you the impulses, give you the ideas, tell you which way to go, put you in the right circumstances, put the right people in your life at the right time, so that you can have the things that you say that you want. The relationship that you're saying that you want, it's got it. It's here. It's already done. You don't have to wait for it. The time and space barrier is only a barrier by way of frequency. And what is frequency? What's the space and time differential between what you want in a frequency sense? How big is it? It's a thought. It's a thought. That's the difference. Just like when somebody dies and you wonder, what does it take for me to get a message or them to get a message? You know, they're dead, right? And they're a spirit now, so I want to, what's the difference? How do I communicate? It's a thought. That's all it is. You turn it, how big is a thought? How long does a thought take? Where does a thought come from? It's just a thought. And a pattern of thoughts that produces a certain kind of a feeling within you that you would call the things that you believe about reality, or that you come to know, or that are what you're seeing, and then what you're reacting to in terms of your feelings. That's your vibration. That pattern. That's your signal. That vibration is your address. So if it's chronically awesome, you're just going to have awesome things coming to you and awesome ideas in your head about what to do to get the next awesome thing that you want. And you meet awesome people who have awesome stuff going on. Sounds really silly, but it's how it is. And if it sucks, suck people, suck situations, suck. Now, it might not all be black and white like that. It isn't for most people. Obviously, there's a little bit of a mix going on, because nobody will necessarily have it be so concrete. You know, there's a whole, range within all of that. But anybody can look at their situation and say, I know what I'm getting, and if I don't like it, I would like to improve it. But what I'm talking about in terms of plugging into source, plugging into where the power is in terms of getting into this vibrational frequency of where the inspiration is pulling you, is I'm talking about making it so that you're going to get awesome stuff. You're going to actually be getting the stuff that you really want, not where you're going to be wishy-washy about it. And not where you're going to be able to then say that you're not sure that you're going to get what you want, or that you're going to stay stuck in a situation. Like I was talking about the fasting thing, and how I got sick. I got sick in the wintertime, and to pull myself out of it, my little secret shortcut was because I'd had the experience in 2021 of starving for a while, just recently, this was like a week ago. I deliberately fasted for 4 days straight. I did 100 hours, a little over 4 days, 100 hours with just water. I think on the third day I added a little sea salt in my water. That was it. And I could have kept going, but I didn't need to, because I felt the health bar refill like a video game. And a lot like a video game, how you go around and your character gains an experience, and so now you have your capacity to carry more health or more magic or whatever goes up, but then you need to refill it. You need to go and find, you need to go to the fountain and refill your health. I just did a big health refill, and so I got really, really super plugged in by way of fasting. I think meditation is another good way. If you meditate to the point where you get into a meditative state, as they call it, just where you feel numb, where you've meditated long enough that you feel like you're kind of detached from your body and you kind of get a numb, kind of a tingle, and you let go of whatever it was that you were worried about. You know, your thoughts, it's like you have the ability, you found a way to just let go of thoughts. Some people cannot do that. Some people will just, swear that there's no way that they can ever meditate to get there, to be that way. So those people, I would say, just get your focus off of things that make it worse and let your vibration raise naturally. But I did the fasting, and then, prior to that, I did just no internet, different things like that are putting more into imagination than letting the screen in front of me show me the thing and tell me what the thing is going to be, because dreams get a lot more wild and ideas get a lot more detailed and wild when you don't read and see things that are automatic, because you have to sort of flex that muscle of imagination a lot more. And that's really awesome, because it's puts you much more into the place of being able to see ahead of time the things that you're wanting, see your path a lot more clearly. But the fasting thing for me kind of worked as, a really good way to jack up the vibration, to clean up, to clean out, to wash out the garbage in terms of vibration and get it into a higher state in a quicker way, because I was feeling pretty crummy from being sick for a long time in the wintertime. That was pretty, and then it kind of feels like, well, now I'm walking around and I just feel like okay, and that's not acceptable. In my reality, I don't think that's acceptable. And I'm making this video to share it, to say shouldn't be acceptable for you or anybody either. There's no reason for us to live like everything's just okay, because all we're talking about here is focus and your feelings. We're talking about your emotional state being lifted into a better place. That's something that anybody can do if you don't make excuses and you don't keep perpetuating maybe a story of things sucking. That can be tricky if you have a lot of people around you that are going to kind of keep reminding you, but there's a way around it. You can always find a way. Same thing with people who will make excuses and say, like, oh, I have to be on the internet and blah, blah, blah. Well, just limit your time then. Don't get wound up. Don't let the stuff that is in that realm, don't let it get you emotionally. Don't look at comments on something to the point that it pisses you off, that you then have a reaction and say, this is these fucking people, oh my God, and then you walk away feeling helpless or defeated or hopeless. Don't look at war stuff when you really want to find a way to find some inner peace. Let someone who can do it and not be damaged by it in the way that you are, let somebody else take the slack for a minute. Let somebody else carry that, who can do it, who's charged in a way, who has the different kind of perspective to be able to look at it where it doesn't upset them the same way. Let them do it. You're getting too upset. Now, do you really think you're going to be effective trying to get a message across or trying to help somebody? No, you're going to feel all weak and defeated and drained. And I'm saying this stuff because there's a lot of that going on right now. I'm seeing a lot of that with people, maybe in the last year. And now that I've shifted my vibration, it all seems really silly, and like this is a lot easier for us to solve some of this stuff. But we gotta do it vibrationally. And I'm gonna do it vibrationally, whether you do or you don't. I mean, I'm gonna stay in my high vibration regardless. But I'm saying this to encourage people that this is a lot easier. And in fact, to some extent, I think it's possibly the fact that it's actually so easy to go from a place of not feeling good to feeling good. And I think a lot of people do it throughout the course of their day, but still chronically reside in places where they overall, you would say that they feel depressed, but they can get themselves into a place where they're having a really good time some part of the day. So we do move our vibrations around pretty easily. And as a result, possibly, some of the ease of it is got people then thinking that they don't really have to actively get involved to keep their vibration in a higher place. Because what I'm talking about, that is the shift that I'm talking about, is when you are tethered, when you're anchored to the higher vibration. That's what I got from the fasting. That's fucking awesome. It's awesome. I feel so good. It's incredible. The level of confidence I have from a mental standpoint is astonishing, but also physically I feel great. And like, oh man, I mean, during that fast, like, water tasted better than ever, and now I just appreciate the hell out of everything so much more. But I didn't need to do that from the fasting. I mean, you can do that from all kinds of things. Meditate, relax, sleep a little more when you don't think that you can because you think you've got to be up because you need more time to worry about something. Take a little vacation from worrying about something. And take 30 days off of the damn internet. Can you do that? Try it. Or do like 2 minutes a day. You know, if you're somebody who looks at it too much, obviously, if it's not a problem for you, then it's not a problem for you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to tell you that you can shift your vibration. Because I know people will say that I can't, or it's too difficult for me to do that. Because I got too many reminders, and I got too many responsibilities, I got too much work to do, too many people that are telling me these things. Well, if you shift your vibration, those people will go away. They can't be in the same place with you unless they're a match in some way. And if they're saying lots and lots of negative shit, and you got a lot of really negative people around you, you're responsible for it in terms of your vibration. You didn't attract them by accident, so you got to take some responsibility for it. And that's where you take the helm back vibrationally. Plug into the source of inspiration, plug into the source of where the real power is. Get yourself into a really good feeling place, get yourself buzzing. You can do it. And like I'm saying, a lot of it is just removing your focus from things that make you feel like shit when you see them. So I think just from people that I've talked to, I would say a common one is people spending too much time looking at really, really negative stories that they then share with other people, and then two heads get going on a topic and get really wound up about how shitty things are and how this is just the shittiest time to be alive and all that, and look at all the atrocity, and we're doomed. And then maybe they want to watch a video like this of somebody like me, and it might make them feel better for a little while, but then they don't do the extra little work, which is focus more on things that are good in your life. Stop and appreciate what you have that is working. You did attract some stuff into your life that is working. You do have things in your life that you want still, even though you have them. So your ability to have wanted things is real. So you can't just say, I can't get what I want, because you have a lot of what you want. If you believe that it's major, major suck, then that calls for a little bit more of an extreme in terms of shifting of your vibration. And so maybe you do want to try to do what I did. Maybe you want to fast. I don't know. I don't know that that works for everybody. I don't know if fasting for a lot of people would just be a physical thing. Because for me, when I'm doing it, I'm also removing my focus from things that I might think about or worry about. And I'm meditating a ton and really just basically at that point, praying for angels, God, source, all that is, the Holy Spirit. That's what I mean, when I'm goofy and I'm telling somebody, like a friend, what I'm doing with it and how it's feeling, I'll call it the Holy Ghost, or I'll call it the angel baby, or the Holy Ghost angel baby, or, it's a lyric in one of the songs, actually. Get used to it. I like to call it that. And that's for me. I'm not saying it in a Christian way. I'm just saying it because I don't know what else to call it. You get filled with energy that feels amazing. It's like you're running on empty. Fill your ghost tank. If you're feeling dry right now, if you're feeling like you're going around on fumes and you don't know what to do, and you're feeling like the world is just ridiculous right now, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I look around and I don't feel a lot of hope right now, and I'm turning around and I'm looking at other people and they don't look like they know what's going on, and I can't get any hope from them, and there doesn't look like anybody who's at the helm of this thing, and what the fuck are we doing, and we're going off a fucking cliff. Then you need to fill your Holy Ghost tank, so to speak. You really do. And when you do, and it's easy, then you're buzzing, man. Life is awesome. The shift in perspective is so powerful. It's like compared to when I felt like I was sick, and then this sort of like crummy feeling after, like I'm not sick anymore, but I don't feel quite myself. I'm not tuned in like I'd like to be. Now I feel like I have 10 times that. I can't even believe how little energy I had before. And I was doing stuff, but I have so much more energy. So now when I look at a thing that was a thing that I wanted to do, I have the energy to do it. I can follow through with it. I have the energy to do 10 times more things than I would have thought that I would have been able to do. And it all looks really easy and fun, and like I can just get stuff done. And I'm not saying get stuff done just for the sake of get stuff done, not be a productive human. I'm not talking about being a robot. I just mean I can live at the level. I'm up to speed. I'm caught up. I'm up to date with where that source part that has the answer is. There's no lag. There's no latency there. And that's paradise here when you're like that. You don't have to wait. The reason why paradise is because a lot of people have diminished by resisting this energy so much that it's such a powerful rush to come into any kind of sense of alignment with it, because they've deprived themselves, they've choked the supply, they've been on fumes for decades. And then when you shift that vibration and you fill that tank again, it's unbelievable how much you're just like, wow. For me though, I mean, even just a couple months of feeling like I'm kind of depressed is like an astonishing diminishment of what I expect to be able to feel like. That I can't tolerate it. I'm used to being high flying and feeling absolutely amazing. I don't want to tolerate feeling like shit for a second. I can't stand it. So I got, but that's because I've just gotten accustomed to that. And I think more of us should be accustomed and demanding of ourselves to be caught up with that and to be plugged in and not bitching about what's going on and acting like these appetizers before the meal that I'm waiting for of the thing that I want aren't good enough. Enjoy the appetizers. Enjoy what's right here, right now. If you want a faster path to what you want, start really getting into appreciating what's happening right now. And if you really think everything sucks, then that's the perspective that you want to shift the most. Find the thing that doesn't suck and amplify it. Put all your attention on the one thing out of if 1,000 things in your life are shit, and one thing is fucking cool, then just only focus on the thing that's cool. And put all your energy and attention on the thing that's cool. And all those other things will catch up. And all those other things will start to fill in, and you'll start to then be surrounded by other things that are just as cool as that thing, and all of those 1,000 things will catch up, because it's a vibrational thing. It's not an action thing. It's not a condition thing that you need to control. It's a control the feeling, control what's going on within me. That's why it's inspiration. It's a spirit thing, and it's within you. You don't need to look out there. It's not somebody else is going to solve it for you or give it to you. You give it to yourself when you get connected to it. That's all you got to do. You just fill your own tank, and then you've got all the juice, and all the things that you say that you want to do, you can do them, and all the things that you say that you want to have come to you, they will come to you. And it's not about time, it's about the shift. It's about where your energy is. Because when there's no lag, then you get the impulse and you go and you act on it and you do it, and before you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even do anything and it's here already. I already have it. It's so fast. You manifest like mad when you're connected. So that's what I'm telling you. That's my advice. Plug in. It's time to refill your tank. You'll really, really like it. I'm telling you. It's worth doing. Do you doubt me for even a second? It's awesome. It is so awesome to be fully plugged in that it's like, I gotta tell you, I gotta share it with you. But I also got all this little juicy little, ways of talking about it that are getting spit into my head that I want to spit out and put on camera. So here I am. And this is a manifestation. This is something that I got in tune for so that I could make this, so that I could share it. So this is instant manifestation. There's no lag. The translation, I get it, comes right out of my mouth. And I'm good at it. Say it the way it's supposed to be said. And I want you to hear it. And I hope you hear it the way that it's supposed to be heard. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope that the process of listening to this has given you a little shift in itself so that you go feel a little bit better and remind yourself that you're supposed to feel that way.